Hello record lovers, Uncle Roddus back again with another video. It's been a wee while since I made one. Things are a bit slower at the moment for record buying. We're in a bit of a recession, I think. Work's pretty slow, and I'm not the only one. I've found out from other people that they are struggling with finding work and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I've got a few records to show because I have managed to pick up a couple. So let's start with last week we were in the city doing some chores. We're still on the final slope of doing up the house. We're just about finished almost, and we were in town picking up some towel rails and other bits and pieces, and we went to the record shop because my wife wanted to go, and she bought me some records, so that was really nice of her. And the first one I picked up is this Toshiko Akiyoshi and Lou Tarbakin. So I've shown a few of Toshiko, terrible. I've a couple of her records before that I do have, and Lou is someone I came across many years ago and really enjoyed some of his early music from the 70s. This is from 1980. It's a pretty big band record. All of the compositions are by Akiyoshi. God, I'm terrible at that Japanese stuff. So yeah, pretty cool record that. Like I say, pretty big band. So these were from Penny Lane. So I picked up that one, and also I picked up this one. Now this was in the second-hand bins or the new arrival bins or whatever, but it's actually brand new. So Angel Bat Darwood, Requiem for Jazz. So this is another one of the International Anthem reissue recordings. I've got both of her other ones that she put out, and this is really cool. This is different. This is really like Sun Ra influenced, and it's actually mentioned on the cover, on the blurb on the front. Yeah, so this is really cool. This is a good record, double LP. Always happy to pick up International Anthem records because they have a pretty good discography going on there. And then finally from Penny Lane, I managed to pick up this, and this is a New Zealand compilation, so really pleased to grab this. This is from a New Plymouth compilation. This is on I'm a Hit Records from Brian Wafer's label way back in the early 80s. He started the label in the early 80s, but mainly it was cassettes, and then he went into records later on, and this was the first vinyl release from that label. I confirmed that with Brian on Facebook recently. Pretty punky, this sort of compilation. Casualty, I actually have some stuff from them, one of theirs, Sticky Filth, are the two that I actually know. The rest of them, are names are pretty obscure to me. Very obscure music, but yeah, so that's nice to have that in my compilation collection as well. So you know, there's still a few holes, but I'm slowly getting there. A few weeks ago, we were also in town, and we went to JB Hi-Fi, and I picked up a couple of records from them in there. These have been floating around, these reissues have been floating around for a while, and they're pretty cheap, and I've been meaning to pick them up because I really like this guy, Hound Dog Taylor. I mean, he is just awesome. So this was the second LP that he put out on Alligator Records back in the 70s, not long before he passed away. And then, of course, I picked up this one here. This is the really good one, his first LP. This is the LP that kick-started Alligator Records, one of the premium blues album record labels in the world at the moment. Still going, I think. I'm not sure if was it Bruce who started the label, if he's still alive or not. If he is, he'll be getting on a bit now. Yeah, so I love this album. Really awesome blues. When I heard this, I don't know, back in the 90s, I guess, George Thorogood was really big at the time. Well, he was all over the radio, and as soon as I heard this, I could not listen to George ever again. Really did not, I realised where his music was coming from, and this is the authentic thing. Now, the other day, I was pulling some records from the shelves and listening to them, and I grabbed this, and I had to listen to this posted on the Vinyl Lovers Facebook page, and turns out that the Peter Jeffries is on that page. He's a member of that page, and he actually contacted me private message and asked me if I'd had his recent reissue of another one of his albums. So this is the original copy. This was reissued back in I don't know, a few years ago now, but on Superior Viaduct, I think, possibly. Anyway, but this is actually an original copy from Rathmund in 1994. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And so he contacted me and he offered to send me a copy of his reissued album. And this is originally from 2001, so this turned up just this week. This is a great one. This is out on Grapefruit, reissued on Grapefruit last year, 2023. This is a really good record, so I'm really pleased about it. So thank you very much, Peter. I'm not sure you're probably not watching this video, but yeah, that was really generous, and it's a great LP. I mean, Peter Jeffries was in like Nocturnal Projections and This Kind of Punishment, and then he did that fantastic record with John O'Loney back in 1987 on Flying Nun, which I have a reissue of, which is absolutely fantastic. And then, okay, so I managed to get just enough funds together to grab some records that I really didn't want to miss out on, and they're very limited releases, and they're all reissues. So I was showing a couple of records with Leather Jacket Records before here in New Zealand. They were out of Christchurch, and they have been putting together some pretty cool reissue stuff of some very rare records, and this is one of them, just come out. This is Belondus Eye. Now this is a Flying Nun band from like 1982, 83. Now they put out 2 EPs back in the day. The first one is the cover is the first one of this, and the cover of the second one is this. So this is a compilation. It's not all of the tracks that were on the EPs. So it's a mix of tracks off the 2 EPs plus a couple of extra tracks. There was a cassette compilation put out in 1986, which has quite a lot of tracks on it. That's probably the more definitive. It's a pity they didn't make this a double LP and just go for the whole lot. But yeah, so I'm a little bit disappointed that it hasn't got all the tracks from both EPs. Both EPs, like I say, early Flying Nun, and they sell for $300 to $400 each now. Now I thought that I had this one here, Grow Up. I thought that I used to have a copy of that back in the day. The cover is certainly very familiar to me, but I didn't recognise one song off it, so I'm not too sure on that. Yeah, so who knows? If I did have it, maybe I didn't play it very often, but pretty cool. Had a play with it before. And then 2 more to go. The Instigators. This is also on Leather Jacket Records and Propeller Records, I think it originally came out. So these are an early punk band, like a punk band from the late 70s, early 80s. They only released 2 singles in their time, and that was it, and then they disappeared, split up. Most of the punk bands, the original, they weren't very long lived, but so yeah, there was only basically 4-5 tracks released on those singles, which are very hard to find nowadays. So this compiles all of those tracks, plus some other live material. Yes. Some live material just says on the Obi there. So, yeah, really pleased that, because that music is pretty. I do know a couple of songs. I have them on compilations, and that. And then finally, I managed to jump on this before it disappeared, because again, it's fairly limited release. So this is a reissue, the second reissue of the Peter Gutteridge, his only LP that he put out originally on cassette in 1989. This was reissued to early 2000s or 2010, I don't know, quite a while back. Oh no, I think it was 2013. It was reissued as a double LP on, now I can't remember the label that did it now, but this one here is out on Superior Viaduct. So they've actually compressed it all onto one LP, all 21 tracks. So it makes pretty long sides, but to be honest, I think I prefer it than having to get up and change the record into a double from a double, because they'll be pretty short sides, and it's pretty low-fi, so the quality's not going to be a major issue. But Peter's a bit of a legend in New Zealand music. He was one of the founding members, very early founding members of the Clean. He was in the Chills very early on. He went on to form Snapper, and he's in a couple of other bands that just eluding me at the moment. Snapper was probably his own vehicle per se. Unfortunately, he was plagued with drug issues, and he actually passed away, I think, about 2014. So he was a pretty tortured musician. But anyway, this is a whole lot of solo stuff that he's done. This is highly regarded, this release, so I'm really looking forward. I haven't played it yet, it only just arrived today. And just finally, just let you know what's playing in the background is this. Robot's Dream of Electric Sheep. This is an electro compilation of New Zealand music. I really like this. This is a great compilation. Really been enjoying it since I got it. I think I posted it before, but yeah, really like it. So that's pretty much it for, well, what are we now? We're just at the middle, just past the middle of April. So yeah, that's what's come in the last sort of 2 months basically. So yeah, all right, well, happy days, and we'll see you again next time.